Alright folks, welcome back to Jazz and Sons Dream Matches with our main event. And for the fan appreciated viewers choice epic show here. And this has come from us from Rocking Mom in Gary, Indiana. My son has chosen as the final main event for today's extravaganza. It is a 30-person comic book realm melee that we like here anyway, so this melee should be interesting. As you see, Carl Grimes is making his way to the ring. Anyone who's part of a comic book series, has been featured in a comic book, is in this melee. So there may be one or two surprises here thrown in there, but for the most part, there's actually only one surprise. And that's just because my son isn't here today because he's in school. But to reward him for his hard work on getting all these, emails and stuff like that and taking care of this card for today, he's actually put this card together, and I'm just airing it and doing the commentary today by myself solo. But he will be back tomorrow's show with our guest Daria Vengeance from Square Circle Cafe on a very special Mother's Day edition of Jazz and Sons Dream Matches, as Carl Grimes, the person who drew number 2, is Doomsday of World's End. And those of you who watched the tag team match a while back that someone had requested knows that they're on a tear right now, World's End. Him and his partner Bane, who are also in this match. Carl Grimes, I wouldn't want to be you, brother. But like I was saying, due to the fact that my son is not here, because to reward him for his hard work on, reaching out and selecting these matches for today's show. This is the last one, by the way, for today. I have put him in also to make it even as well. This melee, as Sean Austin will be making his, giving a shot at the comic book realm. And a little backstory. Sean Awesome is actually, well, he's my son, but that's beside the point. One of his favorite bedtime stories when he was a kid was to hear the adventures of one Jazz Vengeance and Sean Awesome, and or Indiana Vengeance, or whatever the case may be. And in this case, Sean Awesome, he kind of ran with that, and now he's wrestling on Jazz Dream Matches. So here he is, and does the show with me now, and now, so I guess in some ways, defeating how they were, Sean Awesome was featured in a, short story, or a story series. I guess technically we could throw them into the comic book realm. There were some drawings involved there, here and there as well. Which, by the way, I give Carl Grimes credit. He tried right there to eliminate one Doomsday, but I think it's going to take a little bit more than Carl Grimes to throw out a 300, 400, 500-pound guy. I could be wrong. Carl's pretty tough, but good luck, as Doomsday is having no problems throwing him around like a rag doll. As the sweet number 3 is coming to the ring, and it is Deadpool of the Vigilantes. And he just jumps right in. He knows the threat of Doomsday. He's felt the wrath, as Doomsday is almost thrown over, but he hangs on, and they're going to repay that, as Doomsday is not going doesn't even care. And if any of you don't know who any of these comic book people are, you probably shouldn't even be watching this melee. But if you do like comic books, and you like the history of it, and and how the comic book characters in general have evolved over the years and so forth, as Captain America is now making his way to the ring, and some other fun, some fun trivia here as you're watching this. You got a guy from Image Comics, you got a guy from Marvel, and now you got a guy from DC in there as well. So 2 guys from Marvel are actually duking out, and the 2 guys one guy from Image and one guy from DC's realm is going at it. So as Captain America tries to eliminate Deadpool to no avail, as Carl is trying his hardest to get rid of the threat of Doomsday. He knows what kind of threat he is. Him and his dad, Rick Grimes, or the other half of the Grind Boys, and part of the, the SOA group. I mean, it's part of the Survivor group on here in Jazz Dream World, Dream Matches rather, Jazz Dream Matches. They felt the wrath, as Carl might get some help right here. I hope that he can withstand Doomsday. And Carl does, to his avail. Carl gets rid of the biggest threat in the show so far as Doomsday. I'm not saying he's the biggest one in the ring, and I'm not saying he's the only one in the ring, but he is probably one of the biggest threats. His tag team partner will be in this match later on, so we'll see when he comes out and what kind of realm that'll be. As Rick is in one corner with Captain America, Carl is squaring off with Deadpool in the other corner. This is pretty intense. Yeah, this is happening, folks. This is happening because Rocking Mom and Gary, Indiana have requested to see a comic book realm melee. Whether it was her who wanted to see this or she wanted to show it for her kids or whatever the case may be, we don't really care. You ask us to do something, we do it. We don't ask questions. If it's the match you want to see, you let us know. You can email us at jazzfitvengeance That's JAZZFIT Vengeance, VENGEANCE. The E is for Epic TV at gmail.com if you want to request your own match type of thing. If you want to see an epic match, you want to see a face-off, if there's always been a fight you've always wanted to see and you never got the answer for it, we're here to help. We're here to get the answer. We set this to demo mode. The PS3 decides the winner, not us. So we put it on. We produce it. They throw it together and they figure it out. And the results are pretty random a lot of the times. You never know what's going to happen. Earlier we saw Carl Grimes eliminate Doomsday. I don't think anyone has been eliminated other than Doomsday thus far. What a move by Captain America onto Carl Grimes, speaking of which. As Rick's having his own problems with Martian Manhunter. And the Punisher and Deadpool, who are, by the way, tag team partners, are taking upon themselves to face off with each other. I guess they know the threat as Deadpool helps out his partner in getting rid of him. I'm sure they'll have a nice talk later on, which probably won't be far away from fisticuffs and so forth, knowing those two. As we see, Martian Manhunter now is going at it with Captain America, a member of the Justice League of America, and another member of the Avengers, the leader of the Avengers. Squaring off, and Deadpool now has just tried using Carl Grimes as a weapon against Martian Manhunter, which to no avail. As now Rick and Carl have turned their focus on each other. Not exactly sure what Deadpool in Carl. There's a story of Cain and Abel and so forth, but in this time period, in this particular moment, Captain America and Carl Grimes are both eliminated, and those eliminations took place by Rick Grimes, who eliminated his own son, and Martian Manhunter, who eliminated Captain America. So now you have Deadpool, Rick Grimes, and Martian Manhunter, with the 8th competitor, which is Lobo, entering the ring. As Deadpool turns his attention on Rick Grimes, Martian Manhunter kind of stands around watching, and here comes somebody who you don't want to turn your back on. That's Lobo, and Martian Manhunter found out why not to fall asleep when Lobo is entering a ring. Lobo, part of the Hell on Wheels. You saw him earlier in the match earlier as well. And in this particular time, it is every man for himself. So you're gonna have to, if in fact it happens, and you might see Ghost Rider and Lobo going at it. And you've already seen tag team partners going at it with each other. As in about 7 seconds, you're gonna get person number 9. So we're about 3/4 of the way there. Again, there's 30 men in this. As Karate Kid from Dark Horse Comics is about to make his way, Daniel-san, as Lobo's trying to get rid of Martian Manhunter. And Karate Kid goes right after Lobo with a spin kick. And now it doesn't do much of anything else, except he's really going after Lobo for some reason. But I guess Martian Manhunter took exception and has now turned his attention on Karate Kid. Which, if I was the Karate Kid, honestly, and I agree, the late great Bobby the Brain Heenan had a great strategy for the Royal Rumble or the melees and so forth. You see a corner, you go in that corner, you hide in that corner, you stay out of every little thing. If you can stay in there long enough, let everyone else do all the work. Don't extract your energy, because you're going to need the stamina and the energy to withstand, in that ring long enough to withstand 30 guys. You could be in there anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour in a melee. Trust me, I know this from experience. As the Joker has made his way into the ring, and I think Lobo and Deadpool are both out at the same time. And I'm not exactly sure how that took place. I think it was Rick Grimes who eliminated them both, but I'm not exactly sure of that, because I was kind of fascinated with the fact that the Joker and Martian Manhunter going out, and Rick Grimes now has eliminated those two guys, and now Daniel-san as well. He turns his attention on the Joker, perhaps. And the Joker let him know he was there with a, nice amateur takedown right there. Gut-wrench takedown. And now he goes after Martian Manhunter again. I don't think it's a good idea to turn your focus off of Rick Grimes, who, I figured was going to happen. As Rick Grimes is now trying to get rid of the Joker. Martian Manhunter is kind of, oh my, Martian Manhunter gets rid of them both. Martian Manhunter did pretty much what I would probably do. Wait until everyone's distracted and just take your spots. Martian Manhunter right now is solo. Can he do this for another little while? Number 11's coming out right now, and if you can see it, it is the Hulk. So one big green guy to another big green guy, but this big green guy is a lot more known. Rampage Rage, and one half of the Brains and Brawn tag team is the Hulk and the Thing. This is the Brawn part of the Brains. As Martian Manhunter is taking it to, the Hulk. Hulk, of course, not someone who is just anyone. It is the Hulk. As Martian Manhunter is now trying to get rid of him. I guess it's, he sees the green and he feels he's the only green one left, but the Hulk doesn't go down like that. And he says, no way. Irish whip to the corner. And then there's now the Hulk trying to get rid of Martian Manhunter. Hulk is pretty strong. As now we have, again, a Justice League of America guy going up against an Avenger. And Hellboy is now coming out, and Hellboy is, in case you didn't know, he is a comic book character to begin with, graphic novels and so forth, as, oh my goodness, Martian Manhunter just did an amazing elimination on the Hulk, as he has now turned his focus on Hellboy, who waited, and I guess his reward for waiting is that Martian Manhunter just sucker punched him and has been taking it to him since. As Hellboy is now looking at getting eliminated as well. Martian Manhunter, oh no, I don't think he's realized that he has not eliminated Hellboy yet. And Hellboy's letting him know, you forgot about me there, guy. Nice European uppercut, almost took his head off into the third row. Tries to throw him over the top rope to no avail. And now Ghost Rider is in the ring, folks, of Hell on Wheels, as he turns his attention to, Martian Manhunter. And at this point in time, Martian Manhunter has been there for a little while. He's already made several big eliminations. If I was them, I'd probably get rid of him right now if they really want to survive, because he's kind of racking them up right now, the body count. As Hellboy's doing just that, and Ghost Rider's going to try to get rid of him. And Hellboy, and they're doing exactly like I said. This is a smart strategy. Maybe get rid of the guy who's got rid of so many other guys already. And there he goes. He's gone. That's pretty much what I would have done too. As Ghost Rider did the rope-a-dope and kind of flipped those, turned right quick on Hellboy. And one Justice League America guy goes out as another one comes in, as it's the Flash. the fastest man on the team, the fastest man on the roster thus far. In the first half of our season here. So this is pretty cool. Hellboy just eliminates Ghost Rider with like very little ease on that aim. And he's turned his attention now on the Flash. The Flash can be as fast as he wants, but in the end, if one good shot to the face, it will slow him down and ain't no problem. Hellboy is just the guy that can do that too. As we see, number 15 is now the Emperor. We're halfway there, folks. Halfway there, 30 guys in this. And the Emperor from Star Wars, yes, that was a comic book series for those people who don't know. And that's actually where it came from. There was a graphic novel series, there was a book series, and then it was a movie. So there's your history of Star Wars for those people out there. As the Emperor actually is the only person in the Star Wars franchise that is featured on Jazz and Son's Dream Matches currently. Why is that? You got to start somewhere. Might as well start with the Emperor, right? As the Flash didn't appreciate the Emperor at all, and he is quickly thrown over the top rope by the Flash. As Hellboy just kind of stayed out of it, which is, again, a good strategy. You stay out of everything, you stay in the corner, and you let things happen. As we see, number 16 is about to make his way to the ring. That's Drax. Drax, of course, part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and as you see, your eyes are not hallucinating, and I did not miss the fact that Hellboy has eliminated the Flash, and now Drax and Hellboy are locking it up. How's this for a dream match here, folks? Hellboy and Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know. As Drax is taken into Hellboy. Drax apparently got a suntan, so for those people who are familiar with the Guardians of the Galaxy, Drax is generally gray, but apparently he has gone to the tanning booth one too many times, and now, well, now he can go back to the tanning booth because his tan is too much, and now Hellboy has eliminated him as well. As we now have the next person at number 17 is Colossus. I don't think Colossus will be as quick to go out as, you know, a few of these other guys goes. He's not the Emperor from Star Wars, that's for sure. Colossus is not a feeble old man who relies on magic to get to where he is in life. He goes on brute strength and his mutant abilities to get to where he is, and he's taking his time getting to the ring. He's walking to that ring with a purpose as he makes his way to the ring. Hellboy's there to meet him, and that's probably the best strategy, just attack right away, which is what he's doing. I think Colossus could be a big threat to Hellboy, so it probably is his best interest to get rid of Colossus as soon as possible. Colossus, of course, is part of the X-Men. Of course, if you didn't know that, I don't even know why you're watching this again. But Hellboy has now gotten rid of Colossus, so I guess my theory of Colossus hanging around a while is not going to happen. Like I said, this is very random. I have no control over this. This is the whole system doing this. We don't pick the winners, as my son is about to make his debut in this ring, in this Battle Royal at 18. Who's at school right now, like I said, earning his grades. He's got a great report card, by the way. So kudos to Sean Awesome on that. As Hellboy and my son are going to go at it. And hopefully my son can, you know, do something against Hellboy. If I was him, I'd get rid of him ASAP, which is what he's pretty much trying. And my son's is relentless like that. He might try. As we see the arm lock, and he tries to get up, he throws him to the corner. Uses some of that strength that he inherited from me, which is good. As he's trying to get rid of Hellboy, and I think it'd be in his best interest. Hellboy is another one who's been there a while, and he's still in there. He's turning his attention to not my son, but on the Terminator instead, which I don't think that's a good idea. And I'm also a little worried about my son, too, seeing how he's got Hellboy and now the Terminator coming down. As Hellboy is now trying to get rid of my son as well, but that does not happen in this exchange. As the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, has made his debut, his maiden ring debut. And he goes right after my son, of course. and my son just doesn't care who you are. Yeah. And now Hellboy and the Terminator turn to focus on each other, saving my son to the temporary thing. And if I was him, I would stay in the corner, way far away from everybody else. Pretty much doing what he's doing right there is what I would have done. But no, he just saved Hellboy. See, my son's a great kid and all, and he's a pretty good competitor. But right there is a, you know, I've been in the wrestling business for 21 years. My son is, 15. So you do the math. Most of my life, all of his life, I've been wrestling. So as Bane is about to come into this ring, and I'll tell you, if they thought Doomsday was something to reckon with, Bane is just as dangerous. And he goes right after Hellboy, the biggest guy in the ring, which is pretty much what I expect him to do. You see Arnold and my son duking it out, Bane and Hellboy duking it out, and Doomsday is not having any issues. And Arnold is having issues with my son, and Bane is having issues with Hellboy. But Hellboy's almost out of there, it looks like, by Bane. And my son's trying his darndest to get rid of Arnold, the Terminator as well. But can he get rid of the Terminator? I don't know. But he's trying. Foots and everything else. He's got the size advantage, does the Terminator, that's for sure. As Ash Ketchum has entered the ring, and Ash Ketchum is and don't let Ash Ketchum fool you anyway. And he goes after my son, of course, who loves Ash Ketchum, but I don't think he's gonna love him much when he gets up from the bulldog that Ash Ketchum just delivered. Ash Ketchum, of course, from Pokemon and the Pokemon comic series and all that. But my son now has woken and is now taking it to Ash for his lovely donation of his bulldog. As we see Bane and Hellboy still duking it out, and now the Terminator decided he wanted to get in on that, and I don't know if that was a good idea. As Vin Diesel, who plays Groot in the Guardians of the Galaxy series, is coming to the ring as the Terminator has been eliminated. And as I think my son is now eliminated by one Ash Ketchum. Thankfully my son's at school, so he doesn't even know this is going on right now, so I guess he'll find out when he gets home and checks YouTube, huh? So, Hellboy has also been eliminated, folks, by Bane now. Bane's really getting the body count up here. He's going after Vin Diesel now, and Ash Ketchum is helping him out. Vin Diesel again plays the voice of Groot in the comic book films, the Guardians of the Galaxy. But I mean, Vin Diesel is also Vin Diesel. Why wouldn't he have a comic book series? As Ash Ketchum is coming back into the ring, and I told you, Ash Ketchum might be one of the smallest dogs in the fight, but he'll take the fight to you. As Bane is letting him know, listen, you're tiny, I'm big. And now Vin Diesel is going to get in on this. And isn't it funny? It takes two very large men to try to get rid of one little Ash Ketchum. They really must feel threatened. As The Thing at number 23 is coming out. 23 is pretty much a lucky number for the draw. As Ash is gone, as I think would have expected if Bane and Vin Diesel would have held out together. Vin Diesel quickly turns on Bane. The Thing, taking his time getting to the ring, which is a smart thing, which is why he's the brains of the Brawn. Hulk, his tag team partner, was eliminated earlier, and now The Thing is about to make his little presence felt. Very large man, and he goes right after Bane. He knows. He's not stupid, and he's got the strength to do it. The Thing is a big boy. Don't let him fool you. Bane held on. I think they forgot about him for a second there. They turned his back. He's not someone who just goes away. Thing comes kind of walking around there, and Vin Diesel now is working on getting out of there. Kick to the side there by Bane. Bane gets sent to the corner by The Thing. From the other side of the ring, mind you, the strength of The Thing is unbelievable. Vin Diesel now turns his attention to The Thing. As the Swamp Thing is coming out at number 24, DC Comics. Yep, the Swamp Thing is a comic book character, folks. Not just a movie from the 80s that probably people have never even seen. But it was good anyway. As Bane almost gets eliminated again, But again, no one's paying attention, so he sneaks back into the ring. Swamp Thing goes after the Thing. Vin Diesel turns his attention. Well, he didn't have a choice in the matter. Bane kind of let him know he was back. So, and I'd have to say, judging by how Bane works and operates, it could be the end of Vin Diesel right now. He's focused on getting rid of that man. And almost, but Vin Diesel's still in the ring. He's still there, asking for a timeout. I don't think he realizes this is Bane, this is a Rumble, this is Jazz Dream matches. There are no timeouts, folks. We just go. As Superman at 25. You got to think if you're the other competitors who's left in this is up to 30, by the way, so that means there is approximately 5 more people left in this Rumble, in this melee rather. So in this melee, you got to wonder, do you really want Superman at 25? If I was everyone again, I would tune him to get rid of Superman, if anybody else. You know, Superman is, well, Superman. As the Swamp Thing is trying to get rid of the Thing, and he is successful in doing so. I guess if you wanted to do some research and some geekiness and geekdism, you could also try to find out who was around first, Swamp Thing or the Thing. I'd be interested in that, but in that exchange we just saw that the Swamp Thing in a Rumble, in a melee anyway, is more superior. It's not saying we might not have that match down the line. Maybe this is something you guys want to see. Would you like to see the Thing and the Swamp Thing face off each other? Who is the Wild Thing? But you know, like I said, this whole show today has been dedicated to viewers who have watched our shows from the beginning, or who watched our shows and stayed loyal to us, who started this kind of accidental thing that became a phenomenon and has continued becoming a phenomenon. But we are the originals, folks. As Star-Lord, who has just entered the ring and the last competitor to come in, is now already out by one Swamp Thing, I believe, who was given a few choice words. As Superman gets rid of Bane, which also is a smart move on his part, is Superman has now gotten rid of Swamp Thing, which I told them. I did try telling people, maybe it'd be a good idea to get rid of Superman when everyone's in the ring, but now Spawn of Image Comics is about to take on Superman. What will happen here, folks? Only here would you see this confrontation, as Superman is already trying to get rid of Swamp Thing. And when you're the only guy in the ring, it's kind of easy to do so. I don't really know who's left in this match, but I can tell you Swamp Thing is a pretty good threat. Superman is a pretty good threat. And if my math is correct, there should be only 1 or 2 more guys left in this Rumble, in this melee. So, that being the case, you should be getting down to the final 4 eventually. And when that happens, who will that be? And I don't think we've seen Batman yet, so that ought to be interesting to see how that plays out. As the Black Panther is now making his way to the ring, the last of the Avengers to make his way to the ring. As the Black Panther comes in, and Spawn's gone, thank courtesy to Superman. Spawn is not happy about that. Again, it might be a match down the road we see again. We may have Superman and Spawn duke it out in a one-on-one match. Maybe Superman is better in a Rumble, but maybe Spawn can make Superman tap out, or maybe he can beat him in another fashion. We don't know. This is the only place to find out. As Black Panther's taken it to Superman, to his credit. I think there's only 1 person left, and I believe that would be Batman, unless he has snuck in under the radar. And no, it is the Beast at 29, so I was off by 1. So, if the Beast is 29, folks, it is safe to say that the Batman is number 30. And then you got to wonder if Batman and Superman are in there together, which isn't going to have to, could still be a possibility. What'll happen? And now Beast has come into the ring from the X-Men, and Beast is Beast, as always. And in this case here, if I was Beast and Black Panther, I'd probably, being the Marvel guys in the ring, I'd probably get rid of Superman. But, instead they want to, duke it out themselves. The Avengers and the X-Men have always had a long history of, competing with each other and egos and so forth. So it's not surprising that the Black Panther and, you know, the Beast would have a duke it out, I guess. But you would have hoped that there would camaraderie, and yep, there it is, the math of my skills and the fact that I was paying attention and the fact that I was correct. Batman is number 30, folks. So now what you have here is number 1, your final 4. And number 2, you have 2 guys from DC and 2 guys from Marvel. I'm sorry, make that 2 guys from DC and 1 guy from Marvel. But all 3 people are epic. Batman and Superman, people in the Justice League of America. Batman part of his own group too, but I think it's probably in their best interest, who are also tag team partners right now, and they team up against the Beast to get rid of him as they're trying to do so. So what that would mean now is if Beast if they were successful to get rid of the Beast, we are going to in fact have that Batman versus Superman match that people have wanted or seen already in a movie, but I think in the movie they had to candy ass it, and they didn't actually have a clear winner because you really can't do that. Well, we don't work that way. We want a winner. So I guess in some ways in this melee thing, we may get our answers unless Beast somehow eliminates one of the 2 before that, which he very well could. He's Beast. As he's trying to get rid of Superman right now, and Batman is also trying to get rid of Superman. He probably doesn't want to deal with Superman right now one-on-one either. And they're successful in their camaraderie. So Superman and Batman will not happen in this exchange, folks. However, Beast and Batman will. So you got the Avenger, you got the X-Men icon, Beast, one of the original X-Men, mind you, Beast, and Batman. Do I need to tell you who Batman is? Again, if you don't know who Batman is, you really shouldn't be watching this particular melee. Hopefully you've enjoyed this melee. Again, as a reminder, we didn't just throw these guys together by the hell of it. This one has been asked for by a fan, by Rocky Mom and Gary, Indiana. So, Rocky Mom and Gary, Indiana, you have a winner of your comic book realm battle royal melee, and the winner is Batman of all people. So the guy comes in at number 30 and wins from number 30. Pretty much the freshest guy in the ring was able to outstand everybody. Superman hung in there for a while and made some big eliminations. The Beast did some things, but in the end, there you see the man who has defeated everybody to get to where he is. And the Batman is your winner of this melee. That wraps up the show. That wraps up this episode at 30 minutes, 31 seconds, folks. I hope you enjoyed this edition. Again, tune in tomorrow. Jazz's Sons Dream Matches, Mother's Day edition, special guest Daria Vengeance of the Squared Circle Cafe. And I